Today I have for you the ultimate controller settings for Modern Warfare 2 on all consoles and PC. In this new Call of Duty, there are tons of new controller options that might make it seem a little bit complicated, but don't worry because I have been fine-tuning these settings for the past week so that you can have the best controller settings for Modern Warfare 2. Let's jump straight into them. Now, the first controller setting that I recommend to enable is to flip the bumpers with the triggers if you don't have a pro controller. This will swap shooting and aiming onto the bumpers, which is much faster than having to pull down the trigger. But as always, I recommend to get a pro controller like this one that turns the triggers into an actual button like the bumpers. Now, the edit button layout preset completely depends on how you play. I play claw, so I use a tactical button layout so I could jump and aim at the same time. But if you play standard on a normal controller, I recommend that you change this to bumper jumper tactical. This swaps the tactical and then jump buttons so that you can now jump with your left bumper, which makes it a lot easier to jump and aim and even do advanced movement on a standard controller. Next, always make sure to turn off vibration, and you should do this honestly for every shooting game. Now, on my sensitivity on this game, I'm currently running 8.8 because most of the combat is close quarters. Now, this is 100% all down to your preference. What I recommend is to start at 6.6 and to either go down and up depending on how you like it. I feel the most comfortable aiming when the sensitivity multiplier feels like it's 6.6 since that's where I started from. So I put this down to 0.9 to match that speed. Again, just start at 1 and push it up or down to find your sweet spot. Now, going into the gameplay controller settings, first keep aim down sight behavior to hold, and next change automatic sprint to automatic tack sprint. This makes it so that anytime you move forward, you're already automatically tack sprinting and you don't have to click the stick, which honestly hurts your thumbs. Now, we could keep these next two settings as their default settings, but for interact and reload behavior, make sure you change this to tap to reload. I tried changing it to prioritize reload, but it was really buggy and it would pick up guns off the floor when I was trying to reload my gun. And for now, there's really not that many occasions where you put on armor, but just in case, make sure you have this to apply all. Now, jumping into the advanced aim assist settings, I personally use default, but I've also heard good things about Black Ops, so you should just try both and see which one suits you better. And this next setting is super important. Aim response curve type needs to be dynamic. This thing just makes aiming so much easier and more responsive. Now, these next settings I keep default, but the input dead zone is also super important. For left stickman, I personally recommend having that all the way down to around 0.05, maybe even less if your controller has no left stick drift. And our right stickman will let you have a faster response time when you aim and mitigate any possible stick drift that you have. To fine tune the setting, I recommend that you put it all the way down to 0 and then go into a game. Then open up your map and move your stick and don't touch it. You can see that there's a lot of stick drift right now. So I'm going to bump it up about 0.07 and let me go back and see if it still drifts. And it's still drifting, so let me put it up a little bit more. I'm going to put up 5 more points. Let's try 0.12 and let's see if it still drifts. And no, on 0.12 dead zone, there's no more right stick drift, and this is the best dead zone now for this specific remote. So make sure that whenever you get a new controller to always do this trick to make sure that you have the best dead zone for it. Now, going into movement behavior settings, I have pretty much all of them on default except parachute auto deploy I have off, but if your settings look different than this, just make sure you copy these settings. Going into combat behavior settings, I also have most of these on default except weapon mount exit delay I moved to short just to quickly exit from a mount. Now, that's gonna be it for my best controller settings for Modern Warfare 2. If you found this video useful, please make sure to like the video and subscribe with notifications on, because I'm going to be posting tons of informational Modern Warfare 2 content to help you become a better player. Now, again, thank you so much for watching today's video, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.